All right. Welcome back to Currency365 and also Eyes Open Media. I'll be posting this on Eyes Open Media as well tonight. So hope you guys are doing well. Prophet John here as well. You can call me Currency365 or Prophet John, doesn't matter. But it is what it is. We're gonna be talking about African American modern women, and how you see this woman right here, this beautiful African American woman. She has this beautiful smile to her, right? And so we know that there's a stereotype out there that African American modern women are, or African American women in general, bronze women in general, have don't smile enough. They don't smile enough. They're hardened. They it's almost like they are protecting themselves against the world. They stay to themselves. They don't make eye contact. They don't smile to people. They don't say hi to people. They don't greet people as much as the other race of women do. Um, and I'm just gonna say that when you crack the barrier, yes, there is a barrier there because I've experienced it a lot, right? I've experienced this barrier. Okay, I so what people are saying out there is kind of true. Now, it's not true to all African American women. Okay, not all African American women are like this, but many of them are because that's the way they were brought up. Okay, that's the way they were brought up, right? To be hard, to be masculine and hard and protect themselves against the world, right? And live in fear and to get degrees and to protect themselves financially so they're not homeless and things like that and don't depend on a man. So these are things that they're being taught. The other women are not being taught these things. The other race of women are not being taught these things. They're still being taught to to pursue a man, pursue family legacies, and then once you do that, everything else will come easily for you. And that's what we actually see. When Caucasian women and Asian women and Latino women pursue a man and they pursue a relationship and legacy and family, then they're able to start businesses easier. They're able to go to school easier with no debt. They're able to do things right. But the African American woman is being told the complete opposite, and yet so she when she goes to school, she has $300,000 in debt for a psychological degree that's paying her $50,000 a year. And so we have this problem where that the African American women are doing things backwards because that's what they've been told to do it. And there's a reason they've been told to do it because there's an agenda to destroy the African American ADOS families and communities and weaken them and weaken them and weaken them and procreate with other race of women and bleed and basically die us out, right? And that is the agenda, and that is the sick agenda that's going around, and it's so we're seeing it. I'm seeing it. You guys are all seeing it as well. You're seeing African American males with Asian women and Latin women and all types of other women that are not their own women. You guys are seeing it, and so it's happening, right? And when I see that, I know that it's an agenda, right? This is being fed to us. The lies of the beast is being fed to us, and so we need to step back and say, no, we're not going to accept that. We're not going to accept that. But African American ADOS women, yes, they might be kind of hard on the outside or masculine on the outside when they first because they have this cover up because that's what they've been told to do by their mothers and grandmothers and things like that. But once you break that barrier, they are awesome to talk to. They are great communicators, right? You know what I mean? Like they're awesome to talk to. They're great. Many of them, not all of them, of course. There's the modern women have a hard time communicating for some reason, but that's not all of them though. Not all of them. Okay, some of them can act. Some of them can communicate very well. Okay, but you got to get through the barrier. There's a barrier there. Like, dude, I don't know you, or like, you know what I mean? Like they could snap, okay, and they do snap. The finger goes, and it's like. And you're like, okay, and then what you're thinking in your head is, man, the stereotype is real. That's what men think, women, ladies. So, ladies, if you're listening, when you start snapping your finger in your head, men already know that you're not the one. I'm going to repeat that. Ladies, when you start snapping with your fingers and head rolling and eye rolling stuff, a man, especially a high value man, is going to calculate that in his head and remember it in his memory bank that you're not the one for him automatically. Automatically. It doesn't matter how gorgeous you look or how much money you have. Men don't care about stuff like about money and stuff like that, or what degrees you have. By the way, ladies. So I don't know why you keep chasing degrees. Oh, you're chasing degrees because you don't care about what men think. That's the problem, right? You're chasing degrees and you're doing everything that a man doesn't care about because you've been told to do that, right? While other race of women are doing things men care about, right? And so we got the African American women who is masculine when men want feminine women. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them are. The ones I encounter are, and the ones many people also encounter are. Now we know that there's beautiful feminine African American women, as well. But the ones that we continue to encounter are not, because the ones that are feminine, cooperative, and beautiful and supportive, they're already married. Many of them are married or taken. So we don't get to encounter them because they're already married. And so they're not going to talk to us, right? So they're already married and they're with their husband, right? They're with their kings. So they're not going to be open to talk to us in any shape or form because they're already taken. So the ones that we have to encounter are masculine, and the ones that, well, at least I encounter, I'm not going to talk for everybody else, but the ones I encounter, they have a shell up, they're masculine. Now this is in the beginning, they might not be this way. Once you break that wall and they realize, okay, you're just a cool guy that just wants to and say hi, and and just chill, you don't really want anything from me, like, maybe, and then all of a sudden they become feminine and beautiful. I mean, they're already beautiful, but they become feminine and relax and things like that. So they keep this wall up, and the other women are completely different. The other women don't have a wall up, right? The Caucasian women, the Latina women, and the Asian women, they don't have wall up. They don't have walls up. They smile at you right away. They can easily talk to you right away. If you come up to a Caucasian woman or Asian woman, and they will look at you, and then you say, "Hi, what's going on?" And hi, oh hi, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have a wall up in the beginning. Now they might put a wall up later on. You know what I mean? Because women all women are emotional creatures, so they do put so their walls go up later, right? Once you start doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, then then their tentacles go up and say, okay, let me put some walls up here because he ain't acting right. So they do that later on, right? And then the attitudes and stuff might come out later, but in the beginning, they're all game. It's like, yo, hi, hi, hi. I want to talk, I want to communicate, I want to listen, I want to be in the conversation, I want resources, I want connections, right? And the African American women is like, nope, I don't know who you are, I don't care, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, my wall is up until I feel comfortable with you, breaking through. And when you break through, this is what you get. You get this beautiful woman here with a smile, and she's posting you on Instagram or social media and saying, I got a new boo and things like that. But in the beginning, it was like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, it's like hardened, but then after you break through the walls and she realizes that you're okay and you're not trying to hurt her because of all the trauma, I guess she's been through, all the trauma that her mother or grandmother went through, then it becomes smiles, right? Her walls come down, and she's herself again, and so then you start to see that feminine glow and that beauty come out, right? And so it's just the complete opposite, and that's because they've been told that. And so when you see that, when you see the fellas, when you see that, don't be discouraged by that. It's the way that they've been taught to live. We need to correct that, though. We do need to correct that, and it's because of Big Mama and them they mamas. They tell these modern women to be hardened and masculine and things like that, and defend yourself and don't depend on a man. And that's just a complete opposite of the natural order. a woman lion does not she gonna be with her man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Every species and race of people, they know that they need to be with the men, right? Except for the African American women, because they've been taught the complete opposite, and it's destroying our communities. So, but fellas, when you meet a woman, don't if she's hardened in the first time around, and it seems like she has an attitude or whatever, or not interested, don't worry about that. That's just her being protective of herself. She doesn't know you and things like that, and that's what she's been taught. So don't don't let that deter you from going, from talking to her again when you see her the next time. Just continue to say hi, and she'll open up. Because watch what happens if you know a woman that's hardened like that. Watch what happens after the fifth time you say hi. She's gonna say, "Hey," and then you're gonna stop, and then she's gonna be like, and then she's gonna think about it, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, just have a great day." And then she's gonna start smiling, and that's the wall that's gonna be broken. And then after that, it's gonna be easy. You're gonna have conversation. You can have conversations with her all the time. I I've been through it. I've been through it a lot with African American women. It is really hard in the beginning. You just have to have patience, because that's just how they were taught, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's in a workplace or at the mall, at the gym, at the store, whatever it is, outside, at the parks, whatever it is, at amusement parks, museums. They just are hardened when they see somebody new, and then it takes a couple of times to be able to break that wall. But the problem with that is modern women, you brought African American brought modern women. The problem with that is that you lose out on a lot of resources when you do that, because many of those men do not come back and try again and again and again. They just move on to Asian women that are open right away. Right? And so we're losing our communities are losing resources because we don't know how to communicate right away. It takes several times to unleash the real you, and because of that, you lose a lot of resources. A lot of men don't stick around. They move on to women that actually are going to say are going to communicate and say hi right away. And the reason why the Latina and the Caucasian and the Asian women do it is because they see that you guys are not doing it. They see how you guys act when a man comes up to you, and they like, and that's not gonna be me. That's not gonna be me. I ain't gonna miss my blessings. You know what I mean? And so they see that, and they learn from you because they watch you guys. They watch the African American woman, and so when they see you guys doing something that's incorrect, they make sure they do it the correct way. And this is how many of the African American men and modern men are dating Caucasians, Latinos, and Asians, because they're learning that it's not good to be hardened up front, because you might not have another opportunity, right? Especially if you're hardened to a high value man, right? That's a big mistake. There's resources going out the window. You don't have to date a high value man, but it's good to have a high value man on your contact list for resources. You know what I mean? If you need a loan, or you need cash, or you need money, or you need hookups, for businesses and things like that. That's what they're there for, right? And so you miss out on that, bronze modern women, when you're hardened, and you stick to yourself, and you're defending yourself from the world. You miss out on resources, and that's why our communities look the way they are. If African American modern women were open right away, our communities wouldn't look the way they are, because the resources that you guys can provide for the community would be unlimited. If you look like this, when a high value man of any type of color comes at you, if you look like this all the time, our communities wouldn't be the way it is right now, because it would be because you have Jews, you have Muslims, you have um Caucasians, you have African Americans, you have Latin high value men that love African American women. and you don't have to marry them, you don't have to date them, but they love African American women, and they want to be in your friends list, or they want to be your friends, and talk to you, be able to talk to you, and be able to say hi to you and say how you doing and things like that. And you cut all these people off, and there's all your resources. There's $100 billion in resources right there. Some of you women have cut off $1 trillion in resources in your over the last 10 years, just by your attitude alone. Right? And so that's why our communities look the way they are, because we don't have resources, because our women and our men are not doing what we're supposed to do to gather resources. We have to gather resources. You got to gather resources, right? And so you got to make sure that you're not rejecting people that bring resources to your communities. And that's what we're doing, and that's what modern women are doing. When you have this hardened heart and hardened face, and you're bold, and you're masculine, and you don't want to, and you put up a wall, you're rejecting billions of dollars in resources that these men have. And so that's why communities look the way they do. If you come like this and you look like this, when a man comes up to you, doesn't matter who he is, then our communities would thrive. Our communities would thrive because the men know you, and you say, "Oh yeah, that's my homegirl. Yeah, I'll put up $10 million for new schools and this." Yeah, but they don't they don't do that because they're not your homegirl, because you had a wall up, and you had this bold face and this mean mug on you, and you missed your opportunity. Right? And so if you're gonna be beautiful, then use it for your advantage. you know, get the resources for your communities and for yourself, and have those connections and stuff. Use your beauty to your advantage. You're beautiful for a reason. Use it to get resources. You don't need it to get it for hookups or sleeping, or boyfriends and girl or marriage. You can just use it for resources as well, for yourself, for your family, and for your communities. Think about that as well. Next time you're angry looking at him, with a man that you don't even know, and he could be a man that's worth $100 million. You know what I mean? And there, you're missing out on resources, ladies. So understand that when you're hardened like that, you miss out on resources. The reason why Chinese women, Asian women right now are thriving is because they are open to talk to anybody. They do not. They will say hi to you and smile easily, and that is resources. That's why they're thriving here in America, because they are open to resources. It's that simple. They will put up a shop right in the middle of the hood, and greet everybody. And if you get rowdy, they will take their belts out, as we've seen on video, and they will start whipping everybody. So they are open for anything. Okay. And so take a lesson from that, and get open, get open to resources. Smile, say hi, what are you doing in town, like things like, I mean, just, it doesn't have to be dating, or sex, or marriage. It just can just be for resources. All right. She looks like Sanaya Lathan, by the way, but like a young Sanaya Lathan. She's very beautiful. I don't know who she is, though. Somebody hook me up. I'm just playing. She is beautiful, though. Anyways, peace out. God bless. And resources, ladies. Let's go. I'm on your side. That's why I do these videos. I love my modern bronze women. And and I can't wait to marry one, and it's gonna be awesome. But we got to get the resources. You guys have to open up, smile, communicate, and resources. Let's go. Let's want you guys to be great. Want you guys to do good things, and lead, and continue to lead the way, and rebuild the community with your men, with your men, not by yourselves. Not you and your baby, but with your men. Okay. Like it's supposed to be. All right. So, anyways, peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys in the next video. Eyes open.